Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We are live. I apologize for a little bit of delay there. YouTube was giving me a fit starting the stream, but we're all set. And we have an exciting night tonight. We have Airgun Angie in the house. We're going to be talking about Airgun Expo 22, what we really liked about the event, which was everything. I mean, of course, right? We're also going to be talking some more about Capdragon products, and we're going to be talking about what's going to be coming up with Gateway to Airguns as we move forward into 2023. And we got to get our feet under us with regards to some giveaways and also GRiP review program and just a lot of things that are going on. And I got Angie up here. She's going to hopefully be a fixture here at Let's Talk Airguns. So I'd like you guys to all please welcome Airgun Angie. You know her. You love her. She's our Airgun lady that likes to do Airgun reviews for us guys. Let's get her up here, and she's going to be embarrassed, which is so much fun. I'm going to enjoy this. I have way too much fun with this for sure. Angie, welcome, and welcome here to Let's Talk Airguns tonight. We're happy that you're here to hang out with us, and my numbers are already going up with you here, so that's a plus.
Cool. So do I look embarrassed?
You look fine. You look like not phased at all, which
I'm trying.
I'll work on that. I will work on that. So guys, I am trying to work with regards to the audio side of things. I can turn my volume up, but the system, for whatever reason, the connection that Angie is coming in on seems to be a little bit light. So if I turn my audio up where you can really hear me, you really won't hear her. But my hope is that by both of us being equal sound, you guys can crank your speakers and it'll be okay. But in any case, we do have a podcast. I don't know if you guys know that this is we do convert this to a podcast, and that works pretty slick. And if that's something you guys want to listen to, I can get with my sister to do a little bit of work. I don't want Angie's picture to be larger than mine. I can't handle that. So that's a problem. We gotta do a little tweaking there. There you go. That's better. I'll get my sister to increase the volume, hopefully, on the podcast so you hear a little bit better.
Is
But
it
anyway,
quiet, or is it just sounds bad?
I think it's just quiet. I hear you fine here, and I'm hearing what they should be hearing. So it's just a matter. I think we're going to try with Angie. Going to be something that we're going to be up here on a regular basis. I've got some extra audio gear. We'll probably get her a full-on. I don't know why my doctor's office continuously calls me like now. It's 6:30. Yes, I have blood work due on Friday. I will see you then. But whatever. I'll try and get them to not call me at 6:30 on a Tuesday. Anyway, but we'll probably just get Angie set up with a full-on podcasting setup with a good camera and some lights and a good mic, and hopefully that'll solve our problem. And she can crank the audio on her end, and it'll sound good. So that's what we're gonna try and do. So anyway, let's see. I'm gonna go. Timmy's here, but he's showing up as Mary Briggs. So that is Tim. We'd say hi, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
He's coming in incognito tonight. So really quickly, before we get too far into things, I definitely want to say thank you to Airgun Pro Shop for sponsoring Let's Talk Airguns. We've got a bunch of folks that are working to bring this together. I created a name for Angie called Airgun Angie Productions. Whether or not that's something she actually uses or not, I don't know. But I just threw that up there on the little roller there. But you guys can check out her website, and we're going to be redoing that, right, Angie? We're going to be doing some work on that?
Yep. Even
okay.
The name of it's going to be different, so.
Yeah, right now it's backyardshooting.com, but we're going to change it to airgunangie.com. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that here shortly. I think she's going to work with my wife, Sue, and get that up and going. So let's talk a little bit about why we're doing that, guys. I'm going to switch screens here, Angie. Also, Angie, please interrupt me. You have to be like jumping in if you have something to say, all right? So, because I'll just talk. Yeah, say hi to everybody too.
Hi, everybody.
Um, let's see. What do you think? What do you guys think about a Swan tuner on his first gen Armada? Will it help, or is it for higher powered air guns? I don't know anything about that equipment, Ryan, so I don't know what to tell you on that. So I apologize. I don't know. I don't know how to help you on that one.
Me either. It sounds like a fish, a swan tuner.
Yes, Swan tuner. Yeah, we had that for dinner. Real quick, I've got Rumble pulled up here, and you guys have been asking me to get on Rumble, which we've done both for AirgunWeb and also GTA. But we have, in the last month, we've had a whopping 29 subscribers, and this is a concern that I want to continue to voice. Because one, I want to ask you guys, I want to use Rumble. I want to be more present there and make that a bigger part of what I'm doing. But I need the subscriber base to make it worthwhile. So if we only have 29 subscribers there, and I've got nearly 90,000 subscribers in YouTube, you can pretty much do the math there, not hard math, to figure out what platform it has more value currently. But guys, so I encourage you to go join the Rumble thing, because everything we do gets posted there automatically. If we post it on YouTube, it gets posted there. I will probably be using that for some exclusive content, which brings me to the next thing, which is why I'm going to be working with Angie to get her website up and going. I also have AirgunWeb.com, guys. So this is a site which is completely independent of everything else. This is actually, I started this before I started YouTube. Now, I don't know if I'll go back and grab all those really old articles that I had some 20 years ago or 15 years ago. But I might, and post them up here. But this is a website where all of our stuff, all of my stuff gets published. And Angie's going to be doing something similar with all of her stuff. You can just go watch it at her website. And that has some real advantages. One is that we can do whatever we want on our page, right? I mean, so Angie works with me, and her stuff is hosted off of Vimeo. We can embed from Vimeo. It's not something that we have to be concerned about with regards to YouTube or Facebook getting their panties in a wad and shutting our panels down. So that's very cool. So I want to leverage more of these options that protect our content, protect our investment, protect our sponsors' investment. And so I ask you guys to please make use of them. Look, I'm going to continue to use YouTube and Facebook as long as I can, because that's where I have the biggest subscriber base. But if those all go away, all of my content, all of the GTA's content, all of Angie's content, at least as far as I know, all of our stuff is secured and will be available regardless. So it's something that I'll encourage you guys to make use of these other sites. So that's that. Really quickly again, pickles. We can shoot pickles and not get canceled. I can touch an air gun on a live stream and not get canceled. I will be working. Actually, we're going to be redoing my office here and creating a studio space so that we can actually do unboxings, teardowns, rebuilds, basically all the stuff I would want to do in a live stream that's kind of fun. But right down in my shop is solar powered and can be very cold in the evenings and noisy or hot in the summer, and I want to have a climate controlled space. So I'm going to be working to make a space here where we can do that filming. And also, when we go into the next Airgun Expo, we'll actually have a physical studio space that'll be indoors in a sense. It won't be down in my metal shed building. So we'll be working on that as we go forward too. So we've got some things in the works that I think I'll be able to expand and do some more cool live stuff. At the point of that is, I'm going to work out whatever technical problems we had with Vimeo that caused things to screw up. We're going to work through that. I'll get with their tech support, and we will get it sorted out so that we can actually handle guns, show you guys how things work, and do that right in studio without having to, throw it on Facebook, and then redo it, and then throw it on YouTube. We just could do it all at once, so it streamlines the process. So Angie, since you're here, are you watching the chat on YouTube?
There's G-Man has asked me how my hunting's going, and it's going well.
Yeah.
I've been out of town for off and on the past month, so I haven't really done a whole lot here at home, but I did just get back from a duck hunt, so that was pretty awesome in Texas.
Tell them about the duck hunt. Take a little minute and tell them about like Shoot Like a Girl, and because you are a girl, we figured that out.
I shoot like
tell them about you do better than me. We figured that out too. So tell them a little bit about that.
So I went as a writer for Women's Outdoor News, and it was my first duck hunt ever with Shoot Like a Girl, and it was super amazing. I got 3. There was some ladies they limited out with their 6 per day, but I got 3 and was ecstatic about that because my son told me before I went, he said, "You're probably not going to get any, Mom, because it's really hard." But they gave us lots of practice the day before, sat us down, had to pop up real quick and shoot the skeets as they were flying in with a shotgun. It was a lot of fun. I got a redhead drake, a ringneck drake, and a green-winged teal. So pretty cool ducks. It was a lot of fun. Okay,
tell us a little bit about Shoot Like a Girl.
Shoot Like a Girl?
Tell them about the whole thing. I mean, because you went, you were invited based on some work you're doing with Women's Outdoor News. So, I mean, you're here. You're going to be here, like, hopefully every week, which is cool. So tell them about what you've been doing in your spare time while I answer some questions here in the chat.
Okay. My spare time. What's that? Well, Shoot Like a Girl is a company. They have this big, ginormous semi-truck, and they travel around the country and introduce women to shooting and hunting as well. And like girls that are afraid to shoot, women that are afraid of guns, that kind of thing. They kind of take. There's a big, huge studio set up in the trailer, and it's got like archery, it's got long gun and handgun. You don't actually shoot bullets and stuff. They're like electronic or something. So it gets guns in people's hands that may have never touched one before. It's a really cool program, really, really cool company. And the ladies are all just amazingly given to hospitality. And it was probably one of the highlights of my life. It was super awesome. And that's all I got on that, Rick.
Okay. Well, a couple other questions. Let me look at this. Umarex Notos. We're looking December, I think, on that, and that was when we talked a little bit about Airgun Expo here. Let me flip over to that screen. When we talk about Airgun Expo, that was a high point, don't you think, Angie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Umarex had a lot going for them.
Amazing. So,
just ask Joe.
Yeah, just ask Joe. So I got distracted by the chat here. The Notos I'm expecting sometime in December. The one I had, I reluctantly and begrudgingly packed it up and sent it back. It was the only one they had, and they needed it for some demos, which really upset me. I mean, I was like, I won't say tears were shed, but it was close. But I did pack it up and get it back out to Umarex. So that gun, oh my gosh, that's going to crush. That's going to be a huge seller in the market for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think Brett is asking, probably you, Angie, do you do any turkey hunting with air guns?
No, I haven't. I keep saying I'm going to, but I just haven't.
Okay, well, that'll be cool if you get a chance to do that. Can you do that in South Carolina? Or do you have to use a shotgun, or can you use an air shotgun, do you know?
You have to use a shotgun, and I believe an air shotgun fills that. I can use one.
They're pretty loosey-goosey in South Carolina. I wouldn't say that necessarily to a game warden, but I mean they're pretty open to what we call primitive weapons, right? Is that how it works there?
Oh yeah, deer season starts August 15th till January 1st, and it's whatever the entire time. So we don't have certain seasons for bow and that kind of stuff. I'm going to answer Tim real quick, if that's okay with you, Rick.
Sure.
I would definitely recognize you if you said, "Hi, it's your MVV, my most valuable viewer, Tim. You always have a soft spot with me."
Tim. No, I'm sure I've had a chance, but I haven't done it yet. If I'm, be straight with you, I have. I was telling Angie, Airgun Expo leading up to it. We have October's a huge month for me personally. If you guys ever come out to visit, you'll come out to Grace Ranch, which is a ministry ranch my dad started back in the early 2000s. He passed away in 2017. 2019, end of 2019, I kind of took over the ranch for our fellowship. So I'm trustee of our ministry, and I run the ranch here, and I manage the ministry out in the West Coast area. And we also do, I'm in charge of all the online and music ministry and other things. So I have a lot on my plate that way. In October, we have our ministers conference, which we have every year. And then it was right from there. I had like a week to get a bunch of content done, and then it was Airgun Expo. Um, and frankly, all of that kicked my butt. Frank, it's taken me 2 weeks to just kind of recover. So have I had a chance? I'm sure I did, Tim. I'm sure I had the opportunity to go down and look for something. I chose to rest instead. So I hope you will have grace on me that way. I will get down and look at some guns this week. It's supposed to be cold and nasty, but I got to get down and do some shooting anyway. I got some videos to do. So my hope is to get down and try and find something for you, something in a 25 cal, because I think that's what you had. I have something in mind that I think would work well for you. So once I verify its function, I'll reach out and we'll see what we can do. Let's see. What else we got here? Okay. What did we want to talk about? I know I wanted to talk to you, Angie, about, and we did this for the nightly wrap as well, but it's been a couple weeks now since the expo. It's still fresh in my mind because I'm going through all the content with Cheryl and Maggie to get it published and whatnot. Really, what was your standout? What was the thing that you enjoyed most about being out here and doing that again?
Our fun little competitions, Rick. Almost all of them.
So yeah, of course you bring that up, right? So yeah, we're not going to talk about all the times Angie whipped my tail in the shooting competitions. I have like one victory on the whole week, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Now, one thing that I was really, really excited to shoot was the FIREARMS S510XS Tactical. And I've been wanting
Yep.
to shoot that one for a while, so it was awesome to be able to shoot that. And it performs just as I thought it would. It's a very sweet gun.
Cool.
Um, Umarex really brought a lot to the show. I mean, they had the Javelin, they had the Air Saber Elite, and they had the Notos. We went back and forth on what that was called. Notos, Notice, No Toes. That was kind of fun.
Yep.
But Joe
Yep.
did come back and say that he checked with them. It's Notos. So,
No toast.
yep, yep.
Yep.
I don't know. I had a really good time at the expo this year, like I did last year too. And I would encourage
Yep.
everybody, if you guys loved it and you want us to keep doing it, make sure you go to the website, theairgunexpo.com, fill out the form, let the sponsors know that you loved it, and we need to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking to do it twice a year. I think that there's some value to that, and I'm going to be shooting out an email to all of my sponsors, GTA and AirgunWeb sponsors, because I want to do Airgun Week again. Now, there's a chance you might be going to SHOT Show, which I'm excited for you on. I guess we'll see how that plays out. In which case, you could be doing your stuff there and getting content for all of us airgunners, and then I'm going to be doing Airgun Week here, so hopefully we'll be able to release some really cool air guns during that week like we did early this year. We'll do that same thing again. So I'm hoping to do that. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, if you're on a small phone, Tim, I get it. All right, so as far as the expo went, I agree with you. Umarex brought it this year. The
Oh,
the arrow guns, yes.
interrupting you.
Yeah,
the
it's fine. Go ahead.
the Dragon Claw, I was
Yeah,
impressed.
the cap dragon.
Yes, the Cap
Yeah,
Dragon. I think that's kind of a cool name too, Cap Dragon. I
it
was,
is. It is.
yeah, extremely impressive. The power it was putting out, it hit hard. And I can't wait till I get mine. upgraded so I can do all the testing and figure out all the numbers, and it's going to be awesome. I like that kind
Yeah,
of
one
stuff.
of the things with we're talking just briefly about where Cap Arms is right now. I've been talking to Mark quite a bit. Um, they're a small business like so many others, and it is um, sometimes it's hard to keep everything rolling, right? I mean, small businesses can be hard to keep running, and so the biggest challenge that a business like he has is that there's machining that has to be done to the receiver. It's not just a drop-in part. You actually have to. There's about 6 or 8 steps you have to do to the valve body and um, the cast receiver for his system to work. So for all of that to happen, he's got to take a number of units um, down to the machine shop and have them do it, which means it's got to be worth his time and their time to do it. So they need at least 10 to 20 guns every time they walk in the door, which means they need to have 10 or 20 orders, et cetera, et cetera. It's a catch-22. They got to have enough work to make it worthwhile to the machine shop and financially viable. And then they've also got to have enough guns on the shelf and enough orders. And it's they want enough guns to just sell, but then they need to be able to get them processed. Anyway, it's a whole thing. So, like, when we send your Dragonclaw in, Angie, it's a 3 to 4 month wait, unfortunately.
Oh wow.
We're trying, yeah, and that's just getting time on the machines. Now, I'm talking with Mark, and we're talking about a bunch of different things about how to make that process faster. And we've got some ideas. Nothing's that's going to happen tomorrow, but we've got some ideas like maybe creating a loaner program. So when you send your gun in to get machined, you get a loaner, a Dragonclaw for while yours is getting rebuilt, and then we swap them back out. Something like that might be a cool way to solve it. Also, just trying to book shop time ahead, so we don't have to wait till we get 10 guns and then book the shop time, but just know, all right, January 3rd, we're bringing 10 receivers in, and whether or not we have 10 orders or not, we're going to be bringing 10 receivers in. And so if there's a way to sort of get that stuff working, that's what I think we're all sort of trying to work towards. I encourage you guys to reach out if you guys are interested in the Dragonclaw, the Recluse, or the 909 Light Hunter. Reach out to Mark, get an order in, so that work can start getting where it's on the books. Sort of, it's fixing to get ready to go, and we can get things rolling because it's been a lot of start and stopping on their part, and frankly, it's hard to capitalize to have enough capital. That's what I mean by that. To have enough capital to keep something like that rolling, because if you're having to buy a pallet of um, Dragonclaws or whatever, I mean, by the time you're done, you're going to be into it for $100,000, essentially. I don't have $100,000. I don't know if any of you guys just have that laying somewhere where you can just put that out on a hope and a prayer that you might sell enough in 6 months to make your money back. So it's a whole thing, and I'm really working with Mark to try and come up with a plan that's going to work. And so I encourage you guys, if it's a product you're interested in, check it out. And if you can wait 3 to 4 months and get it, awesome. If there's some other ideas that you guys have that might be cool to help them get some sales, and you guys still shooting your gun, like an exchange program or a loaner program or anything, we're open to. I say we only because I've been talking to Mark quite a bit. I have no stake in the company at all. It's just he's a fellow air gunner that has a really cool product that I'd hate to see go under or unutilized when it's so freaking good. It's really good.
Yeah.
So that's why I just bring that up again. Yeah, the Cap Dragon. So you were saying that was a highlight. I agree. I was very pleased. I'm not going to convert my factory Dragonclaw because I'm going to have him build me one, so I can have one of each side by side kind of a thing. But when you get yours packed up, Angie, let me know. We'll get a label to you and we'll get it out
Okay.
so that he can at least have it in the shop, fixing to get ready. So
Cool.
and the short thing, I'm potentially looking to get some CNC machines personally, and maybe have like a micro machine shop where we can actually help them and do it like onesies, twosies we can do without having to have a $350 setup fee every time you walk in the door of a CNC shop. We might be able to do something ourselves to help them out. So I'm personally considering, it's just so you guys understand, where I'm at. I'm personally considering buying some benchtop CNC machines where we can do that work and build the parts ourselves in house, where we don't have to go to another big shop that has 3 months of work ahead of us. So if that's something that I think would be really cool. So with this just it's kind of a hope and a prayer and a wish right now, but sometimes those things actually turn out to be pretty cool if they work out. So anyway, that's what we're thinking about.
We have a question.
Yeah, go for it. I saw that too. Go ahead.
At what temperature do you guys not take your air guns out? Last winter, once it was in single digits, I stopped. Well, it doesn't get that cold here in South Carolina, so I just continue to shoot them all year round. But I don't know about freezing temperatures. Rick, it gets pretty cold there.
I mean, we get into the teens here. I guess it depends on what air guns you're talking about. So if you're talking PCPs, I think you have a bigger range to hunt with. If you're talking about springers, then it's less, only because springers tend to not do as well in cold weather. Gas rams do. I mean, do you keep your O-rings lubed? Do you keep your gun full? If you have moisture in your air in your PCP, you certainly don't want to be taking it out in freezing weather. That's not going to be good. I think it's going to maybe be dependent gun to gun. I'm curious if regulated guns have more of an issue than unregulated guns because there's more to go wrong inside of them. I don't know. I'd hate to have O-rings freezing up and guns leaking and all kinds of problems.
That's a good question.
Where I am, where I'm located, I mean, it'll get in the teens. Certainly gets in the teens at night, and during the day we're 40s and 50s during the day, so we're okay that way. I mean, there'll be sometimes we won't get much above 35 or something, but we're usually above freezing during the day here, pretty much all the time. But I'm not in New England like where I used to live. You know who would be a good person to ask would be Joe.
Yep.
Joe would know because he's in Colorado, and I know he hunts prairie dogs year round. So
well, Backroads,
I don't think
Backroads air gunning says -10 is his limit, but the guns still shoot. LOL.
I like that. That would be -10 is way below my limit. It's a funny story. I used to go deer hunting with my brother-in-law and his dad up in Vermont. When I lived in Vermont for 12 years. I lived there from, almost 12 years, like pretty close, like within a couple months of 12 years. Anyway, we used to go hunting. I was not very good at it. I said I've never shot a deer. Would like to, so I'm probably going to go down to Angie. She seems to get one every week or 2 or 3 a week, so I'm going to go see her.
I'd love to take you to get your first deer, Rick. That would be fantastic.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. Yes. Anyway, the last day I ever went hunting before I moved, we went to our normal spot. It was -4 at the bottom of the mountain, and Rick and I got out of the car, and we walked up to our spot. It was way up the mountain, and his dad and his dad's buddy, they're in the front of the truck. They're like, "We'll be right there." No, they're not. They were drinking beer and playing cribbage in the car the whole time. They weren't coming up the mountain. And so we got up there. I don't know what it was at the top of the mountain, but it was colder than I ever. And I don't do too cold, and I don't do too all that stuff. So yeah, -10. That's too cold. I've lived in it. I don't want to be in that again. That's just way too cold. I'm with you there. So,
Yeah, anything under 20 for me, I'm like, Rick, can I just postpone this video?
yeah, exactly. So, let's see what we got here. 48 out of freezing. Yeah, um, I'm scheduled to go to Florida here in about a month. I'll be going to shoot some iguanas with Gammo. Be filming for them. I won't actually be shooting. I'll be just covering the event for them. And I'll be curious how that's like because, I mean, I grew up in Florida, so it's no big deal to me. I mean, it'll be 60s, 70s, but the iguanas like it really hot. So I'll be curious if they're going to be moving around much. And I say cooler temps in air quotes, but we'll see how it goes. That'll be fun. We'll see how they do. But 48 degrees there was pretty stinking cold, I guess.
That's cold.
Anything else? We look back at the Airgun Expo here, AG. I got sort of pictures here of the Cap Dragon. By the way, really quickly, back on the Cap Dragon, they are running a special promotion. So if you guys are interested in any of their stuff, you can get $200 off a new gun or $100 off an upgrade. So, guys, again, I encourage you to please, if you've got one of those guns or you've been interested in Dragon Claw Recluse, Wing Shot, any of that stuff, please go check them out. And if you can help them out and buy something that's going to be useful to you, that'd be awesome. I encourage you guys to take a look at it.
The pellet shortage,
Okay.
no, it has improved. Joe says buy them.
yeah, that was true. I asked Joe because when we had it last year, it was every question was Joe, when are we gonna have pellets? Joe, when are we gonna have pellets? Joe, when are we gonna have pellets? We have pellets now. We got it. It's fine.
Yep.
So, okay, so we had the Umarex, we had the Cap Dragon. Was there anything else that really you liked this year that stood? I guess that stood out to you. Was there anything maybe from FT Airguns that you shot?
Um, were they the ones with the? I shot so many guns. Um, were they the ones with the 35 caliber? The
Yeah, I was
semi-auto?
wondering if you're gonna remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, that one would
it
be.
wasn't semi-auto.
It
It
wasn't.
wasn't semi-auto.
Wasn't there one
The
that?
35, it was the FX Mark III. FX Mark III. It was side lever. 15. It had 45 shots on the reg. Remember?
Okay.
And you were pegging the 100-yard target.
Yep. Yep. I thought there was a
Yeah.
35 caliber semi-auto though.
They had a 30 cal semi. They had
That
the
might.
LCS.
Okay, that might be it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there was a lot of
And
guns.
I've talked recently to Airguns of Arizona about the 35 cal Rattler that they're interested in sending you for doing some hunting videos. So that might be, I know that might be right there. So
Yeah, you know another.
I know where your head goes. It's all big board hunting. I know it. I know it.
I like squirrel hunting
So
too. And speaking of squirrel hunting, I like putting really expensive scopes on little cheap guns.
yes,
That was
he
another.
had me laughing so hard I couldn't hardly stand it.
It was great.
That was something else. Yeah.
The Seneca
So did you
Dragonfly.
right? So you put a Hawk Sidewinder on the Seneca Dragonfly.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it made it very effective, right?
Yep, I had a successful squirrel hunt, and it was because of that scope.
There you go.
No, the
um,
Dragonfly to me was
in
very
that
impressive too.
in that vein, did you mention when you were talking about shoot like a girl? Did you mention about what you're doing with Women's Outdoor News?
That I write for them. I
Yeah.
write mostly. I do articles for Pyramid Air, so they're air guns, and occasionally I'll move over to the dark side and do some firearms too. But yeah, it's usually about once a month I get an article out, and it's usually about hunting.
Um. So somebody's asked me a question here. First of all, G-Man, we're gonna get Angie a mic that is like mine that can hopefully pick up better. So if you guys can bear with us while we work through. So I haven't really had people coming up, and I'm dependent on what they have for gear. And sometimes it's a shooting match of whether or not we're going to have something that really works. But we will. Angie's going to be a fixture, so I plan on getting her something that really allows her to crank the volume so we can hear her clearly and loudly and I can turn my volume up too, so we'll go up equal, so it'll be just louder in general. But we have a question here. The Crossman Magfire. I have one. It's in the box. I'll eventually show you guys. I haven't been impressed with it.
Is that the same one that I got a couple months ago?
Is it the Crossman multi-shot brake barrel?
Yes, it was.
That's the same one, yeah.
Yeah, not impressed.
Yeah, there's a reason that it hasn't been featured as a video on either my work or the GRiP review program. In that vein, if I talk just briefly, and Tim, I'll get to you a second on the JTS side. Don't let me forget. On that subject, because I had somebody recently on the YouTube channel ask me about the Benjamin 362, which is, if I can pull that up real quickly, let's go to pin that. If we go to the 362, I hate freaking pop-ups. Okay, so this is Benjamin's sort of did I use the word abomination? Is that too harsh?
It's your
okay, so you had the Benjamin Sheridan, right? And then they had the 362. Oh gosh, that looks slightly different than the one I recently looked at. Did they change it? Maybe they did, because the one I got had a slightly different stock. Maybe this one's a little bit different. This one, all they've done is, oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, the one I got was so awful, I couldn't even fight the doggone thing, and I just put it back in the box, and I'm not going to review it. Which kind of comes to the point of, it doesn't make sense to me to review a product that's just bad. Okay, so you guys may not understand. Yeah, Crossman. Let me see. Was it the Benjamin? Let's see. Oh, this is the one. Okay, so I take it back. The Crossman 362 I have not shot yet. This is the gun they sent me. This was the abomination. This is the one that was horrible. So let me take back my statement on the 362 because I was so tainted by the total uselessness of this gun that I'm going to soapbox rant for a moment. So forgive me, guys, but this is just going to happen, right? I want you to look at this gun here for a minute, all right? So do you see where the cheek piece is? Do you see where the sights are? Do you know what that means? You can't use the damn sights. That's exactly what that means, okay? The cheek piece is so high, you're right level with the sight. So your eye is now above the sight, which means if you want to use that with open sights, you got to hang your teeth off the back end of the gun. You can't use the doggone thing. It's the same mistake Gammo did with their Gammo Magnum. Angie, have you tried to use the open sights in the Gammo Magnum?
No, but I think you're mistaken, Rick. I really think you're mistaken. They are just there for decoration.
No. Well, you can't put a scope on that. But you can't scope that gun.
Oh.
There's no scope rail.
That's a big issue.
Yeah. There's no scope rail. So
yep.
You guys can't see. I'm talking with my hands here. You can't. I mean, at least the Gammo, they put the high cheek riser on because they know you're probably going to scope it. But then that's why on the new Gen 3i Magnum, they took the sights off because people were going to use them anyway. Right? I use them. I like them. I preferred the old stock that didn't have the high cheek piece, that I could use the open sights or a scope. Fine, whatever. Fine. But here you can't even scope the damn gun.
Yeah, that's a beautiful design.
Okay, so now I will go back to, and I'll go back to my YouTube comment and correct myself. This is the gun I thought he was referring to. This gun was so horrible, I put it back in the box. I'm not going to waste my time and money because when I produce a video, it costs me over $200 in cost just to get a video ready to produce to publish. Okay, so I have a lot of cost. I'm not going to spend money to talk about a gun that's terrible. I'm not going to do it. Even if I'm getting paid to review it, I'd rather be paid to review a gun that is worth reviewing rather than being paid to review a gun that's absolute rubbish. Personal preference. So, why the pop-ups? Pyramid Air, why the freaking pop-ups?
So conclusion, like if you guys don't see much on those different types of guns, it's probably because they're not good.
All right, so I will come back to the 362 again. I look at this and I think, okay, maybe I will take a look at it because it's not what I thought it was. And I can see that the open sight should work, and I'm willing to give it a shot. But that Benjamin abomination, I will not shoot. Okay, and we can move on.
So there's a question about the JTS guns.
Yeah, well, back real quick. Back on the whole, all of that to talk about the magfire. I am going to do a video that shows the Swarm, Magfire, and Hot Sun Speedfire all in one series to show the differences. I have shot the Speedfire, I've shot the Magfire. The gun that has that whole multi-shot system, like, I can't say perfected, but nearly perfected, and like really works well, Gamo's got it going on. Period. All the others are throwing spaghetti against the wall thinking something's going to stick. It doesn't stick. The Gamo guns work, and work really well. So all of that to get to this, to get all of that stuff, I don't know which way I'm pointing, that stuff to get to that comment on the Speedfire. Well, I got one, but I haven't done a review of it because it's, yeah, I don't want to do negative reviews. I don't want to do them. They're just, I don't see that they have any profit.
That's why I requested a Magfire from Pyramid Air, because I wanted to compare something to Gamo's multi-shot break barrels. But Timmy, I know you don't like Gamo, but they definitely do got it going on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The G-Man saying I got to spend another $50 for the aftermarket scope adapter for the. Look, I'm just. Don't even get me going with that Benjamin abomination. You know why? Because the Benjamin Sheridan was a beautiful, gorgeous, awesome air gun, and to have its name sort of, dragged through the mud with that joke of an air gun that they've replaced it with. Boy, I'm just not pulling any punches on that. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see. Yes, D-Man, you're saying Crosswinds put steel breech on the 362. Yes! Absolutely! Why would you put a 2240? I'm going to get going again. I need to move on. It's that kind of stuff that I just go, why? Why do that? And that's it. It comes down to the difference between, I have to take a breath. It comes down to the difference between people creating guns that actually shoot them and people creating guns because they think they'll be able to sell them. Yeah. Okay? I guarantee you that whoever put the stock together on the Benjamin 392, whatever the heck that thing was, never shot it. Never shot it. Like, they couldn't have. There's no way they could have shot the gun and still released it that way. Because you can't use the sights. When you have air guns that are actually created by people that shoot them, that are actually tested by people that shoot them before they go into manufacturing, you just get a better product. And there are a lot of companies that have that.
It's like Barra.
But there are a lot of companies that Barra is a good one.
Yeah,
there's a lot of companies that don't have it. Go ahead.
When we spoke with Barra at the Airgun Expo, we did the nightly meeting with him. I mean, that's what I heard him talk about, his experience with their own guns, and he had a lot of it. So he was speaking from a personal experience with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see
a couple things we have
about JTS?
We'll get to JTS.
Okay.
Want to say, I see Terry from Buck Rails up here. Hey, you doing, Terry? Thank you for coming up. If you guys are interested, Terry, I don't have your website in front of me. If you throw it up here, I'll throw it up on the screen for folks, because Terry does some 3D printed accessories that are pretty slick and cool. So just kind of, if you guys are looking for gear, he's a good place to get it. So I just throw that out there. Let's see. Okay, on the JTS question, what was the question?
If we think they're any good.
I like the JTS guns a lot.
Me too. I think they're great guns.
I've got to get my 25. The pre-production guns had less than ideal O-rings, and so it was a problem with the pre-productions. They leaked. And I'm waiting for some O-ring sets to come from Travis so I can get mine up and going again. But I'm supposed to be doing a video for Pyramid Air on that. This month, I'm going to be doing the Barra 400E, which is a freaking awesome gun, by the way. And it's perfect because it's freaking cold outside right now, and you would not be wanting to shoot CO2 out there. Actually, let me go back to here. Yeah, so we did. Yeah, so there's the 400E. I'm going to be doing that gun, and then after this, I'm going to be doing the JTS to finish out the year. But I'm waiting for some O-rings to come in so I can rebuild it. It's super easy to rebuild. It's not a problem. And their production guns supposedly solve that. I don't have my hand on a production gun yet, but knowing Travis, he was all over it. He was all over that. So hopefully that's not an issue. But I think they're going to be a good price to performance air gun, as I think are the DAR. The DAR Gen 3, which we did shoot as well. Let me go back over. Let's see.
Yeah, that's going to be one of my upcoming GRiP reviews too.
Okay, because you have the 22, right?
Yep.
I have the 25. Yeah, I mean, and they've got all of these new chassis coming out. They got some really cool stuff coming out. But this gun is a very cool air gun. And I like the chunky sort of big. No.
25 is my favorite caliber, Rick.
I know. It happens to be mine too. That's why I had them send you the 22.
Aw, you're so sweet.
I know. I try. Let's see. Let's see if we got any other questions here. What would you crown as the best gas ram rifle to date? Can't decide between BSA, BRT. Okay. Okay. So, Master Rye. I'm guessing on the pronunciation. The Gammo and BSA are joined at the hip. So Gammo owns BSA. I've got. I think I may even have a GRT XL somewhere. I know I've shot them, and I sold a 25 cal a year or so ago. Beautiful air gun, gorgeous air gun. It's sort of a higher level gun. However, the Fusion is if you can get a Gamma Fusion Gen 2, hell of a nice gun. That's the Fusion we like, Angie.
Yep.
It's not the Magnum, it's not the Maxim, it's the Fusion. Hell of a nice gun. It's second, maybe, I think the Bone Collector Gen 2 is a little bit nicer because of the wood stock, I think, helps with the recoil and shot consistency and whatnot. But that Fusion is really, really good. And you have the multi-shot breach, so the multi-shot swarm system. So if you can get a swarm, Gamma Fusion swarm, then that would be my choice. But the BSA is going to be a good gun as well. They're using the same gas rams, so they're both. That's pretty much the same. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful.
So you would crown the Fusion?
Yeah, only the Fusion swarm, the swarm Fusion. If it was a toss-up between a standard Fusion and a BSA, I'd probably go BSA. It's got a. If they're making them the same way, it's a steel breech, not a plastic breech, which I'm a big fan of. It's a nicer quality gun. A little bit. It may be more expensive too. I know that BSA is going to have a big push of new product because from what I've heard. So I'm going to be getting some BSA stuff. We will be getting some stuff in the GRiP review program. In that vein, let's just pivot for just a moment here, and let's go over to Gateway Airguns. So, as you guys know, Angie does all of our GRiP reviews for Gateway Airguns. I say "our" because I bought GTA first of this year. So, in all, the reality is that the GTA website is something that I own and operate at this point. And I brought Angie on, specifically had her pivot from AirgunWeb work over to the GTA to help build the YouTube channel. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Angie. I hope you guys say thank you to Angie too for putting in a lot of hard work on getting something going from literally the ground up. We had to, and I still haven't dealt with this particular issue, but the original YouTube channel was done under somebody's private account. They refused to release that account. So we literally had to start from scratch, from nothing, which is tough. When you've already got a presence, you have to start over. That stinks, but that's what we had to do. And Angie's put in a lot of work and time to create some content, and it's been a learning experience, right, Angie? I mean, this wasn't your strong suit coming into this, right?
Right, but I did tell you I wanted to learn, so it was perfect.
Yes. Yeah, and it has been something that has been a learning curve, because what I see the GRiP review program, and right here, if you guys go, we have it. Where is it? I want to say that. It should be right here where we can just click on it. Right here. I'm going to get that moved up somewhere more prominent. But the GRiP program just has all of these GRiP reviews. You're just review after review after review after review. And the way we're doing these videos is, I don't really have anyone paying specifically for videos. I do have advertisers on the site, and we do give them access to the GRiP review program. If they send us products, we'll cover it. But this work, the work that Angie's doing, is work that we're actually, the GTA is covering it. It's covering it through advertiser money. I mean, obviously there's that. But I want to continue to build out the GTA advertiser base, subscriber base, all of this stuff, so that we're really looking at the ability for us to acquire products that people are interested in. Angie can take her time going through them. This is your full-time job, right, Angie?
Yes, sir.
It's not a hobby for you. This is how you guys put food on the table, at least a part of it, correct?
Right. I do enjoy
it
for the most part, though.
Yeah, but it is like for me, what we do here is literally the lights that are shining on me now are paid for by the work we do. And there's others behind the scenes. My wife does a ton of work. My sister Cheryl does a ton of work. Maggie, who we brought on to do um, all the editing for Angie, does a ton of work, and she maintains the social media stuff. And there's a team of, I guess, 5 of us at this point that work at least 20 to 40 hours a week to make all this happen across both platforms and everything. So this is not a light thing. It's something that we take very seriously. And there's my daughter bringing you. You got tied up in a video game, didn't you? You muted your phone. And this is my coffee I asked for 40 minutes ago. Stop being sorry. Get out of here, bird butt. Thank you, honey. It's coffee. I'll take it, even if it's late. So anyway, it's a thing that we've worked hard to do. So I mentioned the GTA and the GRiP program because we're going to be doing things differently. Angie, why don't you tell them what we've been talking about, and we want to get you guys feedback if this is something you guys think is going to be useful. And if we run a little late tonight, that's okay. It's worth talking about. Go ahead, Angie.
Okay, so so far my GRiP reviews have been one kind of long video with as much details as I can gather, and we're going to break it up a little bit, and we're hoping to still bring it to you guys in the same week because I know I don't want to wait like 2 weeks to get all the information on a product. So what I'm planning to do is have kind of a little bit of an opening, like have the aesthetics and operation and a little bit of shooting, and followed up by a video, hopefully posting on Saturdays of the performance. So you guys have all the details in the same week, but I think maybe as it is, it's a lot to chew on. So if we break it up a little bit, it'll kind of maybe give you a little bit less to digest at a time, give you more details. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's actually easier it's better for Angie too because she's able to actually not be in such a rush. She can actually relax, take a breath, and spend time with the product so that she really herself becomes familiar with what the product brings to the table, so she's not in some big rush. So that's my goal for it, and I know her goal for it is to continue to bring that quality information. And I really want GTA to be the sort of consumer reports of the consumer reports of Airgun reviews, where it's independent. Yes, we're going to have sponsors or advertisers, I should say, but we're going to be taking that advertising, some of those advertising funds, and actually, I want to acquire product ourselves. I don't want to even I want to get to where we're not dependent on advertisers providing stuff, where we're actually able to just go buy things and then review it in-house, internally, cover, and just that's my goal for the GTA and the GRiP review program. That's what I'm shooting for.
So what do you guys think about the new GRiP reviews? How they're going to be broke up into 2 parts? If you'd let us know in the chat, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, let us know what you think, and and as we do the videos, let us know what you think too. Now, the one thing I've been doing to help get the channel up and going, the Gateway to Airguns YouTube channel, is republishing the content on AirgunWeb. That's going to stop as of the first of the year. So if you want to stay up to date on the GRiP program stuff, all that content, you need to subscribe to that YouTube channel or go to Rumble, because we're on Rumble too. Let me just switch over there real quick. We'll do Gateway to Airguns. Yeah, and here we are. So we have the GTA page on Rumble as well. So we have 7 subscribers, guys. We need to get that number way up. So, go join over there. If you don't mind, join over there, and because all of the stuff we're doing GTA related just pops up here automatically. So, we've got some views. We've got some people talking about the stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna really push this next year, 2023. I'm gonna be working really hard to create events. We're going to get the giveaways going again. That's been on me, given the health things and the delays and everything else in my life. We've got some products we're going to be giving away before the end of the year, so we'll get that going. And then my hope is that we're going to have giveaways, monthly giveaways. That was my hope last year. it didn't happen given different things going on. But I'm going to get one of the ladies to learn how to handle the giveaway program so that I can say, we're going to give this away, and then it just happens. Because if it's up to me to do it, it's proven it probably won't get done. So we're going to fix that.
So, Timmy says he loves the outtakes at the end of my videos. Thank you. I think they're fun too. And
Yeah.
G-Man, I think the new format for review is great. Angie, can you show us some budget pellet choices with the more budget-priced air rifles? We'll see.
I guess here's my question, Angie, on that. Budget pellets, because you test them. I mean, you actually test the Walmart pellets, right? I mean, you test them, basically?
Yeah, I don't have many Crossmans, and I mean, what else do they sell at Walmart? That's mostly what I've seen.
Daisy
yeah.
pellets?
Yeah. I could probably pick some more up.
My guess is that when you have tested them, they have not fared as well as the more expensive pellets.
Sometimes. Some guns are just not picky, guys. Some guns will shoot pretty much anything, but I get what you're saying, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to show you what fits best. It's sort of like reviewing products that suck. I don't see the point. Now, it may be useful that as we go, because we've got like a year into you doing GRiP reviews as we start the first of the year. I mean, you've been doing it a year now. I think what I would love to see is maybe even just a shot card, not sure because it's a lot of work to film and then edit all of these groups. And what we're trying to do is be more efficient because it's costly in time and money to edit all of that. Right. But we could certainly have a set of pellets in 177, a set of pellets in 22, a set of pellets in 25 that we shoot through every single gun, and you could show us a shot card which would have maybe a Crossman or a Daisy or some sort of cheap pellet on it. As an example, so they could get a frame of reference of at least, okay, I'm not going to shoot the Crossman Premiers, or, well, heck, the Crossman Premiers work great. We could do that, couldn't we?
Yep. That's a good idea.
I mean, I think we could certainly do something. I want to create like a sort of a boilerplate standard presentation that we're walking through. You know, when we talk about aesthetics, there's these 5 things. When we talk about accuracy, there's these 5 things. When we talk about performance, there's these 5 things. I want to create that standardized testing so that every gun gets a fair shake and that there's a consistency. When people look at that review, they know that this review, even though it's 6 months later on a completely different gun, it's done with the same thoroughness as it was on a completely different platform 6 months earlier or whatever, that there's that consistency. When I talk about creating the Consumer Reports version of Airgun reviews, that's one of the things I'm talking about is that consistency. One, I think that's easier for you, Angie, because you just have a process. You're going to plug that gun into this process. You're going to get results. You're going to report on the results, and that's it, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah. I just have to. I have to refrain from all the questions that pop up in my head while I'm doing a review. I wonder if. I wonder if.
Yeah. Well, we may have we may let you do the GRiP review, and then maybe I'll have you do an AirgunWeb video and answer all your questions. But we'll figure that out. We'll deal with that.
I think it's a good idea to have in my little snippet for Gateway to Airguns at the end of every video. I talk about how there's something for every airgunner alive on Gateway to Airguns, and that's pretty much that's. I mean, you get pellets from Walmart. I mean, that's for an air gunner. So being able to test everything, I mean, I won't be able to test everything. That's a little bit much. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to be able to test the different types of pellets from less expensive to the most expensive for every air gunner.
G-Man said for every air gun alive on every air gun ever made. Maybe not. But G-Man's saying that all we need is the shot card. Yeah. But you got a long ways. To go, right? I'm closer to that end than you are.
Just a little.
Anyway, G-Man's saying that all they need is the shot card, which I agree with. I mean, we've talked a lot about that. We don't need to see you shooting 30 pellets with only one of them shooting well. Just show us the shot card. We can say good, 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 really bad, not so good. It's just easy just to show the shot card. We call it a day. So.
Good. That way, if I get a gun that's really hard to cock, you guys don't have to watch me.
Yeah. What I'm waiting to see one time is Angie. I'm waiting to see Angie just fly like a little catapult. There she goes right off. That would be funny. I don't know how we could CGI that in, but the Gamma Magnum.
The Gamma Gen 3i, the Magnum, yes. I called Rick after I did the review, and I said, whose idea was it to send me that? I shot that gun over 100 times. My arms were bruised and sore. So yeah, some of them are a bit much for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to call it, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show tonight, and we're going to have Angie back as often as we can. My plan is we'll get her some audio gear that we can crank the volume up and deal with the audio stuff. We'll just please bear with us as we work through that. It's a technical challenge. And everybody's setup's a little bit different, so we'll work through it. And if you guys can be patient with us and have grace on us, we will get it. I will crack that nut, and we'll get it sorted out so that we can make the show as awesome as we can. The Hot Sun Super Magnum. Yeah, we'll get her that one. She'll love it. I'll send her one of the 135 30 cals, little short barrel, and that's a beast of a gun.
That's one that sounds like it's not coming out the box here.
Yeah, it's a great gun, Angie. You love it. It's a big bore. You go hunt pigs with it. You'll love it. It'd be funny. Anyway, guys, so we're going to wrap it up. Angie, thank you for joining us tonight. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. It was fun.
And really quickly before we go, I want to say thank you to all of those that helped make this happen. I mean, we've got Airgun Pro Shop, which helps keep everything rolling. Gateway to Airguns, obviously, is a helps contribute in many ways with all the sponsors there with TTA. And we've got all the sponsors with AirgunWeb because this show is really a passion of, how should I say it? Passion's the wrong word. We don't have like a budget for the show. I mean, we have some help and support, but it's something I'm doing because I like doing it. And it gives,
You've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, we were talking about the length of time I've been doing radio shows, and it's 30 years.
Yeah, wow.
Pretty close to 30. My dad had a satellite radio show back in the 90s. So maybe not. Maybe it's like 28 years. It's pretty close.
Almost your whole life.
But that
was a compliment.
I wish. I wish. At 52, it's not yet. It's not my whole life anymore. It's like half of it. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming up, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be here. So we'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
See ya. Good night.